Assalamualaikum and good morning to the Dr. Imran and all my friends. Today our team want to present our group assignment about the Photocell. This is our team members. Our team have 5 members. At first, I am a leader for the teams Nafis bin Nazri. Second, our team member is Lim Jumi. Third, Muhammad Irfan Hadi bin Azmi. Fourth, Muhammad Daniel bin Hamdan. And the last, Muhammad Akmal bin Abdul Rashid. Okay, now we go to the introduction of electronics. Electronics are the electrics operating with the electron or the electrical charge. Electronics have many types, many functions, and many colors. Electronics are also those followed by electricity that are often used by society throughout Malaysia. This is inserted by with electronics. Electrical appliances create among them are automatic lighting, gadget applications, and other. Nowadays, most electronic components are made from a semiconductor. Because the semiconductor electronics are capable of being a good electrical conductions and at the same time a good electrical insulations. Okay, today our team want to present about the photocell. Photocells, one of the components are semiconductor components. Photocell has electronics components work based on the intensity of light. Photocell is also referred to as photo control or light dependence resistance, and photocell also function as an electrical flow breaker automatically. Okay, this photocell is very sensitive component on the lights, and this component commonly used on the street lamp, gardens, and others. This component used because it can decide on electric current when hit at a bright light intensity, while the electric current will flow when the intensity of light decrease or dark. This make light go on at the night. This make the light go on at night and off during the day. The photocell is very easy to use because the component working automatically. Okay, now the objective for our presentation today is first to know the literature review about the photocell. Second, to identify the descriptions and designs of the photocells. And third, to know the application of the photocell. Okay, now we go to the parts of the photocell. The photocell, the photocell have a ceramic material at the body, and at the surface have a electrode, photoconductive materials, and clear coating over the entire top surface. Last, the photocell have quite a well contacts for the wire terminal. So now I pass our presentation to my friends Ifahadi to continue the presentation.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ifahadi bin Azmi. I will like to share with you with literature review. Photoelectric cell, also named by electric eye, photocell or phototube. Photocell are an electron tube with a photosensitive cathode that emit electron when illuminate and an anode for collecting the emitted electron. electron. Various cathode materials are sensitive to specific spectral regions such as ultraviolet, infrared, and visible light. The voltage between the anode and cathode causes no current in darkness because no electron is emitted. But illumination excites electrons that are attracted to anode, producing current proportional to the intensity of the illumination. A photocell is a light sensitive that attaches to either a circuit or lighting device and change resistance depending on the amount of light. Short for photoelectric cell, photocell is electronic component typically small size but come in a number of designs for different applications. The discovery of the photoelectric effect and subsequent development of photoelectric cell present a remarkable chapter in scientific research. The initial discovery was made by Hertz in 1887 during his experiment with the oscillating spark discharge, the work which was the foundation for our wireless. He noticed that spark get illuminated by another spark discharge more readily than one which was screened in the dark box. The effect attracted his attention, and by a series in ingenious deduction and confirmed experiment, he finally traced this phenomena to an effect of ultraviolet light upon the spark discharge. First published his observation without attempting to advance a theory as to how such observed phenomena could occur. Wedemann and Abbott jointly Hertz result and in addition demonstrated that phenomena were confined altogether at the negative terminal pf the spark gap statement by V. K. Zurbuchen. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. I, Muhammad Akmal bin Abdul Rashid, will present one of the component that we choose. It's a photocell. In this part, I will explain the description of the photocell. Okay, the photocell is a resistor that allows to sense a light. The function is it can be used to change the amount of the electric current that across the electric circuit based on the resistive value of light intensity. When high intensity light emitted through the photocell, it produces less electric current that flow in the circuit because the resistor become big. But when there are low intensity light, which is the surrounding become dark, emitted through the photocell, it will produce much electric current that can flow in the circuit. For the material of photocell is made from the cadmium sulfate. This substrate can change the electrical resistance when in the dark and light falls upon it. When the surrounding become dark, the resistance will become low and more electric current can flow across the photocell. But when the surrounding become bright, the resistance be can be high and less electric current can flow across the photocell. And then the photocell was coated by the ceramic substrate. This ceramic act as insulation to be and can prevent the photocell from being damaged and can increase light energy absorption because ceramic is have a clear surface. That's why when the light emitted into the photocell, it can more electric can be absorbed by
A very good morning to Dr. Imran. My name is Lim Jun Min. So now I will continue of the application of photocell. Photoelectric cell is used in the reproduction of sound which is recorded on a movie film. In the movie, film sound is recorded on a film of action in the form of a thin transparent strip. This thin transparent strip is called the soundtrack. The transparency of the soundtrack depends on the variation of the frequency of sound recorded. Using photocell, sound is reproduced from the soundtrack. When the film is run in the projector, the light of the soundtrack will fall on the photocell. Due to a variation in soundtrack, the variation of intensity of sound takes place and the electric current varies. The current is amplified and is fed to speaker. Next, the photoelectric cell is also used in a burglar alarm. This device is kept near a safe to be protected from a thief. A burglar alarm is a device which used for locating intruder, thief near previous valuable thing like safe. This device consists of a photocell and an infrared source of light. The light from the infrared source is made continuously incident on the photocell, making photoelectric effect continuous. The photoelectric current in the cell flows continuously. When the path of infrared light is obstructed by the thief, the light falling on the photocell is cut off and the electric current in the cell stop and relay circuit is activated and the siren start hooting. The third one is photoelectric cell also used in exposure meter. The exposure meter also used along with a camera to know the correct time of exposure of film for having a good photograph. To have a good photograph, if the intensity of light is more, exposure of film should be less. If the intensity of light is less, the exposure of film should be more. The exposure meter is a device attached to the camera which decides the exposure of the film. The exposure meter consists of a photoelectric cell with a sensitive millimeter and battery connected in series to it. The photoelectric current produced in the cell is directly proportional to the intensity of light. If deflection in the millimeter is small, the photoelectric current is small. It indicates that the intensity of light is small. Thus, the exposure time should be more. If deflection in the millimeter is large, the photoelectric current is large. It indicates that the intensity of light is more, so the exposure time should be less. Last but not least, photocell detect if the light is needed. Photocell is used in the street light. Photocell are light-sensitive sensors that respond to the amount of light detected. When the light is too low, such as at dusk or under heavy overcast sky, the sensor tells the computing unit within the street light to activate the flow of electricity. When the photocell detects too much light, the sensor will deactivate the street light. Electricity is sent to high-intensity discharge lamp. A high-intensity discharge lamp emits light by an arc of electricity created between two electrodes. The electrodes are in a transparent tube filled with glass emitter salt. The electrical arc generates heat which work with the gas and metal to create light emitting plasma. So this application of photocell is very important in our daily life. It helps us to do many things in our life and make our life easier. Okay, so this is the picture that photoelectric cell is used in the reproduction of sound which is recorded on a movie film. Okay, next picture of the burger alarm. This picture show that there is the infrared light. When the thief pass on the infrared light and cut off it, so the burger alarm will ring. Okay, so next is the pictures of photoelectric cell used in the camera for exposure meter. So to know the correct time of the exposure of film for having a good photograph. This is the function of it. So next is the photoelectric cell used in the street light. When the sky is dark, the street light will continue will light off and give the light to the passenger of the car to avoid the accident. Okay. So next I will continue with and pass it to my friend. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Anil Hamdan. So today I will introduce you about the photocell advantage, photocell disadvantage, and the conclusion of the photocell. So for the first one, we discuss about the photocell's advantage. So the first advantage is we can save the electricity, which is it detect the presence of light. Next, to improve the road safety, it can improve the road safety, which is we can found at street light. So the function of street light is to able to reduce the accident. Next, the price of the photocell is cheaper than timer watch. It is because people use photocells for their life and electrical appliance and are very easy available. So, next, photocells disadvantage. First, the presence of voltage drop to lamp. It is often damaged and does not long due to the photocell itself. The lifetime is become low. And the one more important note is to avoid the disadvantages of this photocell. The placement of the photocell should be modified to a minimum weather effect, but the response to outdoor light is not interrupted. So next, the conclusion of the photocell is specially designed to facilitate human work and do not have to worry about any problems. Small light meters are installed in street lights to turn them on automatically when darkness falls, while more precise light meters are used daily by professional photographers. Plus, various electrical goods that have used this photocell widely to save electricity consumption. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.